Hello.
Happening.
Okay, you want me to put you on speaker or mute? Okay, alright. Michelle is calling in this evening, the city's attorney, because she's not made it back yet from an appointment. Do you want me to mute you?
Yeah, if you don't mind, I'm still driving.
Okay.
If everyone's ready, I'm gonna call the city of Vernon, budget hearing to order. Candace, indication, please.
Heavenly Father, thank you for allowing us all to safely be here tonight. We thank you for the crowd that's here tonight, Lord, because we are so blessed with our community. And we ask that you help the council, guide them and lead them to make the best decisions for the city and the community. Heal our country, Lord, and keep us all safe and healthy. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
You want to read resolution 25-199? A resolution of the city of Vernon, Washington County, Florida, adopting a final levy of millage for ad valorem taxes for the city of Vernon for fiscal year 2025 through 2026. Is there any public participation on resolution 25-199? Being none, I'm going to read resolution 25-200. A resolution of the city of Vernon, Washington County, Florida, adopting a final budget for the fiscal year 2025 through 2026. Is there any public participation on resolution 25-200? Being none, I'm going to adjourn the budget hearing and open up our regular meeting. It's called to order. Mayor's report, Mr. Gary's not able to be with us tonight. Attorney's report, Ms. Michelle.
No, Michelle, let me take you off the mute. Okay, go ahead. Michelle, do you have anything in your report?
I don't.
Okay.
Thank you, Ms. Michelle. Clerk's report, Ms. Candace.
Yeah, I just want to remind everybody that I'll be at the conference. I'll get there Wednesday evening and be gone Thursday and Friday, but I'll have everything I need to work with down there if y'all need anything. It's gonna be in Ocala. That's the Freedom Conference. And, we did have a busted line out on Roach. Guys went out on Saturday, I believe it was Saturday, but they got it fixed pretty quickly. So, that's taken care of, and they'll be working on other things, or either Jimmy's crew will be working on them. And I really don't have anything else.
Okay.
Oh, I apologize. I turned in the applications to the state, to the House and Senate for the appropriations grants for the upcoming year. So I turned those in, Friday, or submitted them.
Thank you, Ms. Candace. Public Works report, we don't have anything, do you have? Or he's not here. Candace, do you have anything?
No, we got the pipe in to fix the larger leaks that are around. Jimmy knows about that, so that's pretty much the main thing.
Fire department report.
We have the, engine is at 10-8 getting repaired because we did get our, payment in from the county last week. So they have, started working on our engine. And they started their turkey shoots, so if anybody that likes to do turkey shoots, those are on Saturday evenings at the fire department. And if you go to the Vernon Facebook page, you can see the information on that, but they'll be having chili and stuff like that too.
Recreation report, Ms. Nikki.
Okay, so our Boomers made it to the Super Bowl, which is like the first time. You want me to stand up? I don't like doing this, but, our boomers, which is our younger boys, they're 5 and 6, they made it to the Super Bowl for PYFA, which is the first for here in Vernon, so we're super proud of them. They did fall short, so we walked away this year as the Eastern Championship, runners-up, basically. So we are the Eastern champs, so that's an amazing thing. Football has wrapped up, we are doing a banquet. They've raised enough money to do the banquet at Dave and Buster's since we can't do here, so they have graciously generated like a really good thing for the boys and girls, the cheerleaders and everything. So all in all, that season was great. We have our basketball open right now, and I am so excited to say that if, and knock on wood, if things continue as scheduled, the painting for the walkway and the ceiling and the jacket and everything should be done by the end of this week. There will also be a wall put up from where they broke in those glass windows. There will be a wall with a door and everything, done hopefully this week also. And then the guy that is doing the floor, he said that he is looking at finishing the floors by the week of Thanksgiving, the end of the week. So we are still tentatively set for our basketball season to start on time. In the gym, I did have somebody come look at the roof today for the leaks. He's sending me 2 different quotes. One is for repairs, one is for a whole new roof, which that's, you know, we're gonna have to look at grants and stuff, but that's in the works. I have another guy coming to look at the roof, and then there's one other company that's coming to look just, you know, so I can at least hopefully maybe get the leaks repaired in it. And then that's all I really have right now.
All great news, thank you.
I'm excited.
I'm proud of those kids.
Yes, we are very much.
So they're amazing.
Okay, President's report, I have nothing at this time. We're gonna have to move number 1, the community meeting on Central Station down. Mr. Dale is on his way, that's not supposed to be here until around 6, right, Candace?
Yeah, he's running behind, I'm sorry, y'all. He said he'd be, his GPS said he'd be here at 6.
We just bump it down and see where we're at, yes, ma'am. Okay. So we're gonna move on to number 2, it's a vote to adopt the final millage rate, resolution 25-199. Do I have a motion to approve?
I make a motion to approve.
I'll say.
Any discussion? All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Ms. Quinn, was that yea or no from you? Yes or no?
Yeah, approve.
Okay.
Oh, you didn't
No,
even.
ma'am, I did, I apologize. Motion carried. Number 3, is a vote to adopt the final budget resolution 25-200. Do I have a motion to approve?
I make a motion to approve.
I'll say.
Any discussion? All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Motion carried. Moved a little quicker than I thought, guys.
You can do the other one. If they're not here.
I just heard back from Chad, and he said he just got the message and he didn't know about a meeting. He thought he was on leave until tomorrow and would find out then why. And I just said that it was the regular monthly meeting, so. Do you want me to?
Well, I'm just saying, so he
I
said,
will if I need to, or do
No.
y'all need to make it, do y'all need to do something with this tonight, or?
well, if not, we're gonna have to call a special meeting.
Okay,
Number 4, employee complaints.
I got a call, from the mayor last Thursday, I believe. Wednesday, that there had been some friction between the public works director and the two, public works employees. He asked for one drug test to be done the next day, which they were. I scheduled them that morning, went to Chipley and set it up, paid for them, and then called the employees to have that done. That was fine. They all went and had those done. But in the meantime, he called and told me to put our public works director on administrative leave until after this meeting tonight so that all the evidence could be presented to the council. Since then, he brought in, 2 handwritten complaints against the public works director that are in your packet. And Mr. Gary, the mayor, is unable to be here tonight because he had a procedure and is not able to, he's still at the hospital. And that is what I know.
Given, what you just read that you received from the Public Works Director, will you ask Michelle, how does she feel we should proceed? Should we set this to a special meeting or take care of it tonight as best we can?
Michelle, did you hear?
No, so when you muted, I can't hear anything on your side.
Well, just mute me then. I'll leave you going. So Chad is not here at the meeting and the mayor is not here at the meeting. We have 2 handwritten complaints against the public works director, one from Rusty and one from Tyler, about the events that took place last week. And they want to know how we should proceed.
So, because he was promoted, he's back in his probationary period.
Okay.
So, you can take whatever disciplinary action you feel like you need to, up to termination. That's a call within the council's discretion.
Okay.
Did you let her know what Chad responded to you just now?
Chad said that he did not know about the meeting, and I told him, well, it was it's a regular meeting, so, he is not here. So,
That's totally up to the council. I mean, the discipline doesn't have to come through the mayor.
do they need to table it so that Chad can be here, or what, that's, I think, what she's asking, do they need to call a special meeting? Or are they just gonna do whatever they're gonna do?
Can you read me the complaints?
They're very long, but I will.
Okay, can you summarize the complaints for me? To let you know what we're dealing with?
They were changing light bulbs out in the hallway. Everybody was here. Nikki, Rusty, and Tyler were all talking about people they knew and who they were related to, just, normal small town talk in the hallway. Chad came out, spoke for a minute, went out the front door. Rusty said he went out calling Tyler out to fight him and was screaming and yelling. Then he left and saw them at the four-way stop at the football field, spun around, thought he was going to hit the car at the stop sign, pulled up beside them on School Mill and told Tyler he wasn't talking to him right now, he was talking to me. This is Rusty. Then he went on to give me heck about light bulbs, saying they had them the way he wanted them, had a bad attitude. I'm just summarizing. Then he saw them again on Armstrong Street, and he said he was going to fight Tyler, calling Tyler out, said he wasn't done. Tyler said he hadn't done anything to Chad. And he said he didn't care if he lost his job. He was showing a lot of aggression, and Tyler said, we need to go. And basically they left. And that's pretty much, summarized on Rusty's. Tyler says, they were down the hallway working on the lights. Rusty said something about LED lights catching on fire in the food pantry bathroom and that he didn't like to use them. And he and Nikki were talking about people they knew. I'm sorry, it's a little harder to read. Chad walked out the door, busted it open, and went outside yelling. I asked Nikki, this is from Tyler, I asked Nikki what was wrong with him. She went to the door and said she said he was talking to himself, not them. But she did not want to butt in. I heard he was calling someone out to fight, and me and Rusty didn't know who he was talking to. Then they left the city hall and were driving back to the plant and saw Chad at the four-way on Spool Mill. He turned around in the work truck in the church parking lot, spun out, almost hit a car. The car had to stop to let Chad go through the four-way, and then he came up to us and locked his brakes up beside us and said that he was not talking to me, he was talking to Rusty, and said something about light bulbs. And on about that, and then he drove off driving crazy in the work truck. Then he and Rusty drove to the plant and did some talking to figure out what they were going to do. As they left the plant, they saw him again. He locked up his brakes again and said to me that he was calling you out at the city hall to fight and was going to say, I can't repeat this word, this job, and then risk it all to fight. I'm not saying that on public meeting. And that's basically it.
Okay, are Rusty, Tyler, or Nikki there in person tonight?
Nikki is here.
Can Nikki verify any of the information in those statements?
She was not in the trucks with them when they left here. She was only in the city hall.
Okay.
So she said she
witness
could.
any of this?
She witnessed the city hall incident.
Okay. Does Nikki have any concerns for her safety?
Not my safety.
Not her safety, she said.
Does she have concerns for others' safety?
There was things that I did not agree with that was said. I will say that. Like, I was worried when Chad left City Hall, but I didn't know what what he was doing or anything. Like,
When you concerned with the other employees, I think it's what
yeah.
Yes. All of them. It's fun.
I don't think he would have done anything physically, but I'm not surprised at what evolved apparently after he left here.
She said she doesn't think he would have done anything physically here, but she's not surprised about what evolved afterwards. If you couldn't hear her.
Yeah, she was kind of breaking up on my side. It's really totally within the council's discretion. If they want to give Chad the opportunity to appear and rebut these allegations, they can certainly do that. I would recommend a special meeting. This week I am really booked. I've got 2 meetings tomorrow and I've got one Thursday. but we could do something Wednesday night if you wanted to. Because this is something that probably needs to be dealt with fairly quickly.
Michelle, I can tell you this, it's my understanding, from both of the employees that the reason that they were not at this meeting tonight is because they thought he would be.
Gotcha. Well, like I said, because of his promotion, he's back onto probationary status, so you can take whatever action you need to. But the allegations, certainly if they, are verified, would warrant up to termination. It's conduct unbecoming of a supervisor, at minimum.
Thank you, Michelle. What's the will of council? Do I have a motion to terminate the public works director? Chad Taylor.
Is the floor opened up for this?
Not until there's a second, then there's discussion.
I know we have these.
We have,
So I'm gonna go ahead and say.
we have to have a motion and a second before we can discuss anything. So if there's no motion to terminate, then, do I have a motion to set a special meeting for Wednesday, this Wednesday at 5:30?
I think we should have a special meeting with all the employees here. I think they all need to be here, and then we discuss all of this, because everybody has a right to defend themselves, you know that.
Well, if we do that, we need to do it separately, meaning, I don't think we're gonna be able to put them all in a room together
Well,
without
then
having.
we can just hear one at a time, then they need to be here, so we need to hear them.
So are we in agreement to have a special meeting on this matter Wednesday at 5:30?
I'll be at that conference, just so y'all know. You want to have me here? I won't be here.
Nikki said she said that she would be the meeting.
I was just saying. That's fine.
Are you okay with that?
Man, we didn't make a motion to terminate, so, yes.
So Wednesday at 5:30 p.m. All right.
Wednesday at 5:30.
Yes, ma'am. And Miss Nikki, you said you could.
You,
Candace, would you send me the verbiage for that?
I will, yes, sir.
All right.
I did send him a message and just ask him if he asked Tyler if he wanted to fight him while they were all on the street, just to see what he responded, just so y'all know. I haven't gotten a response, but just let me know.
We're a few minutes out from Mr. Dale's being here. Do we need to take a break or are we just gonna?
He's gonna be here in probably 10 minutes. What do you wanna do? Y'all wanna take a recess?
You wanna take a recess for 10 minutes?
It's fine.
10 minutes, okay. We're gonna recess for the next 10 to 15 minutes until Mr. Long gets here. I apologize.
Good
to see you too.
Don't have a clue.
She didn't have to sign and shit for the. Circle K no longer has the pedestrian crossing.
There he is, right there. No, I was just, I should
I noticed it coming, my battery was dead, I had to jump, so I had to walk over. I'm gonna go. The light, in the northwest corner, the light is out crossing the court. And there's nothing, now no buttons or anything at the southwest corner.
No, that's why you got somebody else that is showing out. What I think is should just probably say
Well, we have a,
they probably,
I mean, I,
get a whole. Everybody's smoking. Oh, well, she said he ought to pay back. I know what was oh, Shane had a, somebody did.
whatever, they have a button on their lot, and they've been that way the whole time.
How much air?
Is there a lot there either? Then they never put one in. I had they did about that and they. There's not, I think, so there's not two across. They never had one across the They told me when I called them that they didn't have to do it on the auxiliary street, and they never had to. But they probably should have, since we have personal Right. Since you gave us a recess, the next 6 minutes, Okay, Chad's here now. Y'all probably wanna do the septic station though first. Thank you. Michelle, can you hear me?
I can.
Okay, they made a special meeting for Wednesday, but Chad just got here, so can they still, talk to Chad now?
Yeah, I mean, we just recessed, right?
Yeah, we recessed.
Yeah,
Okay, thank you. So y'all gonna do the, septic station first though, since?
Yeah. Wait. Is there minutes up, is everybody back?
No.
Huh?
Is everybody back?
They are.
There's still one lady that's
Okay.
out. I'm gonna get you tomorrow.
Take care of it, Candy. She's in the back. She gonna get in the back.
How you doing, Deb? Good. Well, since we recessed, some folks went out to the restroom and whatnot.
Candace, while we're recessing, I got a question. So I went to pay my water bill, it says I have a bill due, and I don't remember getting one, I don't remember paying one, so I've checked it like 3 different days. Is there something going on?
I think I must have got yours.
What's your
I was like,
address?
thank you for bringing it.
It's 4986 Dawkins.
You're actually the second person, and we're gonna try to call and find out tomorrow if we can find out what's happened, because we went in through the receipts, so we think our billing system.
Yeah, it's not showing me any history or anything, so I was like, well, and so I sent a little email thing asking, and I hadn't heard back, I was like, well, I'll just ask for one.
Merry Christmas, thank you.
For PSN tomorrow.
All right,
Or
everybody's back.
for Vanny.
We're gonna resume the meeting. And we're gonna go back to number 1, the community meeting on the septic station.
Good evening, Madam President, and council members, and guests, and staff. And I'm Dawn, I'm your planner, and kind of strange, but we've got a working relationship with the cities of Ebro, Caryville, Wausau, and Vernon. And so we help with development review and the boring land development code, all that crazy development. And some of you may have met us in the office if you needed a home placed on your property. But why I'm here is I'm assisting the city in reviewing a minor development review application for a septic receiving station. And so any project that's of any significance, even with a municipality, has to go through the review process. And so we look at the code and review the applications, look at plans. A development review committee looks at the paperwork and reviews. Our county engineer also reviews the documents. And so we're looking at this septic station to be added to the existing wastewater treatment plant. And it's located at 3371 Sasser Avenue. And access will be via Dawkins Street. So, but the parcel size of the whole entire plant is 6 acres, and so this treatment plant will be placed in the southeastern corner, closer to Dawkins. And that'll allow for the septic trucks to access the property and to be able to pull in. This is like a pre-treatment station for any septic from trucks. And so the trucks will back in and the waste will be received, and it's pre-treatment in that it would be the silt, grit, grease, trash that may be in the septic is filtered out. And that's a good thing because that'll extend the life of your existing wastewater treatment plant. And so we're looking at a manned station that would be manned by the employees. And the actual acreage within that 6-acre site is about 0.37 acres. And looking at the plans, it's an improvement over the site. There's platform, there'll be a dumpster area. The actual septic, when it is released, will be pre-treated and filtered. But it's going to be piped into the main wastewater treatment plant. And Mr. Long is the engineer, he's the expert. So I'm just know enough to be dangerous. So, but it's not going to be sitting there, it's not going to be in a pond, it's going to be piped into the treatment plant, and then further treatment will occur. Traffic, we're anticipating 8 trips. And the septic receiving station is to be open within the city's hours of operation. So 8 to 5:30? 8 to 5? 8 to 5. And it's manned, and the trucks can't just dump on their own. They'd have to get a city employee to come over and open the plant and assist. Environmentally sensitive areas, the wastewater treatment plant now is located within a flood zone, an A flood zone area. And this plant has been in operation though for years and years. And so we look at this as an approved use that's kind of like grandfather, that's been in use for years. However, this portion of the plant, the septic station, has to meet current code. And so there's going to be additional site improvements and a stormwater pond. So it's an improvement over what's there, and that should benefit the entire wastewater treatment plant. The Development Review Committee didn't have any concerns and comments. At the neighborhood information meeting, some of you all were in attendance and voiced your concerns, and you had concerns about increased traffic into the site and also issues with potential noise because of the trucks, and also potential for odors. And I apologize if I didn't cover all of the concerns that were in that meeting. At the Planning Commission meeting, these are PowerPoints, right? Makes you lazy. So on November 3rd, the Planning Commission heard the case and listened to comments and concerns that you all had, and some of the similar concerns were voiced about the increased trips, and also the potential for noise and odors also. And let me back up, and I think Candace can help, because some of the details that came out in the meetings I wasn't privy to, but the city did receive a grant for this project, and this was a need that was identified. And we rely a lot of people rely on septic tanks. We review a lot of development, and they rely on septic tanks. And so there is a need in the community for this use. Although I know some of you probably have you're connected to the central system here at the city. There's still folks that are on septic in the area.
Within the city?
There are some that are grandfathered in.
So staff recommended, I asked your planner recommended approval, the planning commission recommended approval, and any concerns that you all had with operating hours, if you wanted to include that in the development order that we issue for the project, because that would be the next step, that I would issue a development order for it on behalf of the city. And you could add those, making sure that the manned hours, making sure that access would be on Dawkins Street. I mean, we could add things to the development order. And if you have any questions, I'm gonna let Dale answer them.
I don't have a whole lot to add. We pretty much covered everything. As she said, it's a septic receiving station, so when septic tanks are pumped out, either routinely just because your septic tank needs to be pumped out, or because it needs to be inspected for sale of a home or purchase of a home or whatever, that sewer that gets pumped out of that septic tank goes in a truck. That truck will come to this station, dump it at that septic receiving. That unit would screen out anything that was in there that's not basically liquid. That'd be bricks and sand and whatever else happens to be in there. And what that does, as Ms. Dawn said, is it does help the wastewater treatment plant, which is directly downstream, so it gets clean wastewater coming to it. The screenings come out, they're washed, then they're kind of augered up through a chute and land in the dumpster. The dumpster's picked up once a week, once every other week, just depends on how much use it's got. Presently it's designed with both just a screen and a wash press, and and also an option for extra grit removal and grease removal. So there's 2 dumpsters shown on the plans. If we have enough money, that's what we build. If we don't have enough money, we will probably eliminate the grit removal and the grease removal and just do the basic screening. In the past, the city has taken septage before. They've taken it basically directly into a manhole. The manhole sits in the middle of Dawkins Road, so it was going into the plant unscreened. You've been kind of around for a while now that the screen at the plant is presently down, and that's part of the reason they stopped doing it. But this unit is designed and constructed specifically for screening out septage. So whereas the bar screen at the plant is a little less in tune with septage and just basic, thinking more along the lines of basic sewer. So that's a quick overview. Certainly seen a couple of you at a couple of these meetings, so I know what your concerns are. Happy to address them again in front of a different crowd. But if anybody else has questions, yes, sir.
Yeah, is this a done deal? Do we have any say here at all about what goes on in our neighborhood?
Well, I mean, that question's not really directed to me. It should be directed to the council. The council can vote tonight one way or the other.
You don't know if it's already a go?
Well, I mean, I know they had the grant, but I'm not the approving authority.
Okay then. Is this a done deal?
Well, that's
No.
what they'll
Did,
decide this evening. They'll decide to approve it or not this evening.
okay, cause nobody knows about this. There weren't nobody got a letter? Our whole neighborhood, nobody got anything.
Some people did.
There were letters sent within
How many?
a certain range.
6?
Within 1,500 feet of the project, of the parcel.
So if you live within 1,500
5,
feet,
6 letters?
No,
there's a whole slew of receipts you got.
wow, it was pricey.
So in any time I'm speaking for the county, but anytime the county does a project or the city or whatever area does a project, they send out letters within like 1,500 feet of a property owner.
1,500.
So when they went to do the golf course, I got a letter about that because my property's within 1,500 feet of the golf course. If it's 1,510, I'm assuming you don't get a letter, but within 1,500 feet, you get a certified letter. Is that correct?
Correct, but then we have a backup, there's signs that are posted, there's advertising, so we're trying to get the word out, but we mailed, the city mailed 64 letters, or we mailed 64 letters on the city's behalf.
Okay, well, I live on Dawkins and obviously I'm not within 1,500 feet.
I will say that this is a project that was,
No, I did not.
this is a project that was started, we applied for this grant back,
23, I think, 22.
I was still the mayor, so it was,
Oh,
yeah, it was probably 21 or 22. And that is something that just in projects and grants and things that we apply for, they're talked about regularly at the meetings. And I get everybody don't have time to come sit up here on a Monday night, but Mr. Goulding does post the meetings live on YouTube. So if you want to keep up with anything in the city, you don't have to come to the meeting. They're posted, on the YouTube site, so you can watch the meetings. But the city has septic companies have dumped in there for years and years. The reason they stopped is because it's too hard on the plant without this treatment station.
And they were very small personal owned trucks.
Well, it was the same ones that would dump now, Odom. Not personal owned, it's the septic, companies.
How many gallons are these trucks gonna hold?
Exactly.
Yeah, they're gonna hold
Where
it.
it's coming from.
Yeah, somewhere 3, 4, something like 1,000 gallons.
Those single axles then?
Yes, sir.
Yeah,
3, 4.
Now, at the
So-
first meeting, we were told, we didn't know for sure
Yeah.
the size of the trucks. Could be single axle, could be double axle, but the plant itself will only process 60,000 gallons a day, is that correct?
I think that's what we based the 8 trucks maximum on, was what we thought we could get.
Jimmy, what are we gonna limit it to? What did we say we would probably
My
limit it
suggestion
to?
is to limit it at least to start at 10,000 gallons.
10,000 gallons.
There's
Per day or per truck?
per truck. I mean, per day.
Per day. 10,000 gallons a day.
I've talked to another system that has the same system we have.
They'll come every day.
What other
And no limit. They don't
Wherever
even
they
have
pump
to,
from,
I'm not saying it
wherever
couldn't
they
go up.
pump
But
from.
just
I'm
start
sure it
with-
will once it gets long.
I'm talking 3 trucks.
Out of
a day.
the city?
Maybe. If
Out
It
of
could be
Vernon?
in the city, or it could be in the community, it could be from Ebro, it could be from New Hope. it
Bay
could be-
County, Gulf County, any septic system that
Where-
wants to come, it's fair game. We were
Wow.
told this is this is a revenue building project.
Well, that ain't good.
Well, what we were dealing with before was 3 companies, one of them was local,
I think we had,
and we don't,
Two
I
back
think
in
that
the
we
day.
have the right, and the attorney can probably tell you better, but I believe that the council has the right to say how many, and we get to set the amount, we get to set how many trucks are coming, how many businesses. It's not like everybody's gonna just be running up and down the street.
Okay, we were also told that it's a possibility, and we should bring this question before you all.
Yes, ma'am.
Since it is a revenue stream for the town, is it possible that the council earmarks a small percentage of that revenue to go into, we asked for a sidewalk. We have 3 people that I know for sure up and down Dawkins several times a day on hover rounds. That's their form of transportation, they're disabled, that's how they get up and down. We're worried about them with the trucks coming in and out Dawkins. So that's our concern, we wanted a sidewalk. They said there's not money in the grant for a sidewalk. Well, if this is gonna just generate revenue mainly, because if you just fix the screen, the station would run as it was. But we're gonna do this so we can bring in more, it's gonna bring in revenue to the town. So can the council earmark a small percentage of that to go into a fund to do sidewalks, to repave Dawkins Street every time these trucks tear it up? That's what we're looking at. I don't oppose progress by any means. It will be a benefit, and just because I'm on a sewer doesn't mean that I don't understand how many people in a rural area are on septic. So I get the need for it, I do not oppose that. I just want some safeguards put in. The number of children, I mean, there's like 3 churches right here. We've got the track that people walk. There is traffic up and down Dawkins walking every day. We have kids up and down through there. So that's our concern, is how can we have this progress that the town obviously needs, a revenue stream that will be great for the town, but safeguard our homes and our residents at the same time. Is that possible? That's what we came to ask.
I'm not really sure I know the answer to all that question, but give me just a second and let me see if I can piece together. Go ahead.
So you can earmark it for whatever you choose to. The mainstream of the revenue of the income is simply to keep the sewer plant operational and repair it, because it's a hot mess, if y'all don't know. And that's what most of our budget goes to, is keeping that plant down there running so that the city can provide sewer for the citizens. So that's what most of the money is for, is going to be to maintain that plant where we haven't had it, the income to maintain the plant. Because the council does try really hard to not increase the water and sewer bills, but a very small percent every year, and the chemicals keep going up and up and up and up. So y'all can earmark for whatever you want to. Now, as far as the sidewalk, I'll say this, the easement for the sidewalk would be the issue, because there are questions about boundaries and easements, and you would have to be able to, we would have to make sure that we actually had access to the property for an easement for sidewalks. To repave that road right now would probably be around 3 million, I'm estimating, with the length.
And it's great right now.
Yeah,
We're just
but,
worried about what it's gonna be like in a year.
no, but I'm saying in a year, it'd probably be 3 or 4 million.
3.5 million, yes.
And they're not gonna bring in that kind of money, obviously, but the council can choose to set aside whatever they want to for it.
Yeah, I'll let you do it.
So with the added sewage coming in, what's the potential of something going wrong and it backs up into people's homes?
I don't think there's little to no potential to back it into somebody's homes. If it was to spill, which that's part of what Jimmy mentioned a minute ago, limiting how much he gets per day, and that's how we backed into eight trucks a day. It would spill at the plant. It wouldn't back into folks' houses.
And to follow up on what you were saying earlier, as far as the children and everybody and the hover-rounds and all that, I get it, I'm up and down Dawkins all the time too. What this is also gonna do is get those trucks out of the middle of the street, dumping in the manhole, which is the way it used to be done.
Yeah, I see them out there still.
And so, as she explained earlier, that, well, they haven't been dumping out there.
Well, they've been pumping something out there.
That's the water truck filling up.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's on the hydrant. there on
Okay,
the right-hand
okay, I was
side.
gonna say, they're still parked on the street pretty
Yeah,
much every day.
if you're from here, if you're headed Dawkins that way,
Mhm.
that manhole that was right there on the left side of the road,
Mhm.
is where they used to park and run their hose right there.
Oh, so now they
And that-
just park over on the right side of
They'll
the
pull
grass.
in, they'll pull into, like she was explaining earlier, the trucks will actually back in and they'll have to do it when city employees are there to open it up. So as before, they were pulling up right there and dumping. So this would keep the trucks off the streets while they're.
Control spills in the middle of the road and that sort of thing.
McFadder is part of this, because when you're coming down from Holmes County, they're gonna come over McFadder to Dawkins. And McFadder has to be earmarked for these sidewalks and road recovery too, because these roads are no through truck traffic at this time. And now you're opening it up to quite a bit of truck traffic. And the one thing about McFadder is we're getting 3 tennis courts there. You know about that, right?
Well, 6, yeah.
They broke ground on it and had a ceremony there the other day. And that's gonna be our high school, which never had a home court, that's gonna be their home courts.
Yes,
And
sir.
also open to the public. So
Yes,
that
I agree with that.
brings more people to the area and traffic. And once again, I mean, our teenagers play basketball on the streets. And there are children playing on these streets and riding bikes all the time. Sidewalks would be dynamite to get them off the street.
I agree with you. I've been here a long time too, and my children were raised on these streets as well, or on the sides of them with no sidewalks. I understand that. I think we may be, thinking that there's gonna be a lot more trucks coming in here and a lot more revenue than what we're actually talking about at this moment. What we're talking about, I think it's like 3 businesses, unless one's been added that I don't know of, and we're not even guaranteed those 3 at the moment. So you said it was set up for 8 trucks?
8 trucks a day.
8 trucks a day.
Now, and I think, excuse me for a minute, I think you actually mentioned the point at the planning meeting is that if you take 8 trucks a day and you work an 8-hour shift, that's 1 truck every hour. I would suspect that it probably, at some point, that's not maintainable. Because I mean, I don't think Chad's got 8 hours a day to spend down there unloading trucks. He's got plenty of other things to do. So, you know, when we have to estimate this, we have to pick a number out of the sky, you know, of how many trucks it is. And we basically, like I said a second ago, we backed into that number based on Jimmy and I discussing how much flow we can get, what an average truck size is, and we tried to max it out so we wouldn't be, you know, saying too low number of trucks. But I think probably 8 trucks a day. If you did that 8 trucks a day, 5 days a week, I think Chad would probably find a new job, because I mean, that's just not manageable for somebody from the city to be down there 8 hours a day, because that's not the intent of this. And as Ms. Becky was mentioning, you gotta put this into perspective. It's not a cash cow. There's money to be made here for sure, but you're not getting, you know, tens of thousands of dollars every month out of this thing. I don't know what y'all have got in the past, and I don't even know if y'all have even.
It was around $3,000 a month total. And that was, they weren't limiting, and they were just going straight in and dumping straight into our system, which created problems for the system and is the reason they stopped it a couple years ago.
There are other septic receiving stations in the area. I use that term loosely. There's one at Mariana. I'm not sure about back towards the west. I know for sure there's one in Pensacola, but that's a long haul from here. So some of the larger plants do this pretty regularly, but obviously Vernon's one of the smaller plants. But from a hauler's perspective, it's gonna be, what's the cheapest place to dump? How far is it from my pickup? And what's the most cost-effective route to dump it? Whether that's taking it anywhere, whether that's taking it to Mariana, to Vernon, to somewhere even farther away. And then depending on what they've pumped out, you know, I think the city's gonna limit it explicitly to septic tanks. There's also, you know, there's porta johns, there's grease traps, all that stuff. That's gotta be hauled somewhere else too. So if they've got that mix in their truck, they'll be hauling that elsewhere. So again, I just, you know, I know sitting down here right here, none of us know exactly what it's gonna look like. All we can do is estimate and give you the best guess we can. But again, it's not gonna be a cash cow for the city that they'll have tons of money to throw at other things. They couldn't earmark some of the money for a sidewalk or road resurfacing, and probably should do that anyway. But it may not be the kind of thing they get in 1 year or 2 years. It may be 5, 10 years before there's enough money to build a sidewalk, and then they have to build it in pieces. So just trying to manage expectations.
How much does a truck hold, the average, like Odom?
Yeah, they're normally 3,000 to 5,000. There's certainly some larger trucks, and I don't.
So an average one that holds 3,000 to 5,000, and we limit it to 10,000 a day, we're talking about
2 to 3 trucks.
2 to 3 trucks, not 8 trucks.
But this is the first we've heard about any limiting. All the other meetings have said it'll pump 60,000 a day, and right now it has to be manned, but there has even been talk about, could it be automated? Can they run these trucks in there at night at some point in the future? And if those things happen, will it come back before the council? Will we have a chance then to voice our concerns if we change how it goes?
Yes,
Okay.
ma'am.
Yeah, because there's a lot, I've been in the solid waste for the 38 years. I've hauled leachate, I've hauled sludge, I've hauled everything there is known. I don't care what kind of stuff they're saying about the smell and everything else. There has to be some kind of a misting system there to keep the odors down, because it does carry through the neighborhood. It will. No, I don't care, like I said, if you pipes it in or pipes it out or whatever, there's still gonna be a small smell. As for the trucks, I've drove trucks my whole life. There's only one way to run them, that's turn and burn. They're gonna fly down our streets. They're gonna be lined up on our streets, waiting to dump. I know you mentioned about calling in and being there an hour early or whatever. You can't guarantee that.
No, sir, and I understand that, but I think I speak for the council, and y'all speak up if I'm wrong, but this council is not going to approve that kind of income business coming in here and just dumping.
I mean, that's
I'm
all
not going
yeah.
to. What I'm looking at is what we had before, which was like 3 trucks, and
Sure.
they weren't here, but sometimes they weren't even here every week. I mean, it was just random.
Well, I went in front of the board in Chipley last week, and they asked me, did you know the septic place was here when you moved in? Absolutely. That place is very rarely you ever catch any kind of odor out of there. I live 2 houses down. I never hear nobody down there making noise.
4 years, it's been amazing. We're just afraid of what
What's coming.
kind of changes this is gonna make for us.
Like I said, we're not opposed to progress, but with certain things, I mean, you get something where if I want to sell my house at a later date, which I don't, I want to be here forever, because I bought my home here to retire here. But if I go outside and sit on my back porch and I have a shit smell coming through the neighborhood and everything, you know, how am I supposed to enjoy that in my retirement days?
Well, I'll tell you this from personal experience. When the trucks were dumping before on the street, and I would drive down Dolphin Street, as I said, I'm all over these streets, especially on this side of 79. I can tell you that the smell would slap you in the face when they were down there. They were dumping because they were dumping right there in the manhole, and
And you put a stop for it for a reason. Because it was tearing up your septic system.
it was tearing up, and we needed to. Basically, what this is an upgrade to our plant. We have the benefits of having a little income to help with the plant, and I agree with y'all all on the sidewalk. And we're looking into grants for all kinds of things. Y'all know that our roads need work. We've got a grant, we're fixing what we can, as we can. We're working on another one. She's actually going to a conference about grants Wednesday to learn more about them. So we're looking to improve. We're all in on the tennis courts. The tennis courts that are in the middle of the track, they're gonna be redone for the city's use. The 4 for the high school gets that first, but that's also for our community. And we're working together with the school board and got all that approved. right? And that was the groundbreaking and everything the other day, so all of that's moving forward. We want the best for our community. I would love to be able to put a sidewalk on, all the streets. I would love for them all to be, we had the money to resurface them right now, but it's just not, we're not financially able to do that. So that's why we're doing everything we can and reaching out for what grants we can. We've got some, we've been turned down for some, and we're looking to, get more to improve the community. That's what we wanna do.
For reference, the 3 grants that we just applied for, which is the same, it's an appropriations grant through the state, which is what this is that we're talking about, was, the paving of Church Street, the, finishing or upgrading repairs on wells 1 and 2, and a top for this septic station. So just so you're aware, those are the 3 that we sent off, Friday.
And I think that, I know you said the information that you got was different at other meetings and all. I think also it may not have been clear that the county planning and the engineer and all, they work their side of things. And then for each one that they do that for, as for us, this small city, it's not gonna be 8 businesses coming in down there dumping. Not while we're on council. And it's gonna be set, and we're gonna take Mr. Jimmy's recommendation on that. And we're gonna do everything that we can if this goes through to help everybody. It's not gonna be a big income, because we're not gonna let 8 businesses come in here and dump. We're not trying to do that. We're just trying to help everything and help the plant. And correct me if I'm wrong, we've already got some of this, we've already spent some money. Am I correct that we've spent some or set some money aside that we haven't got yet on this grant for some of the upgrades? Am I making sense, or?
So there's a grant for the septic receiving.
Okay.
And there's another grant for the wastewater treatment plant upgrade.
Okay, that was my.
Yeah, it's 2 separate, it's 2,
Okay.
I was confused,
That's
also, I
what
didn't know
it
what
said.
you're asking, but there's 2 separate, and there are upgrades going to the sewer plant. It's
That's separate, okay.
You know, the wells.
1.3 million for down there,
I think so.
and that's gonna do a whole overhaul on the plant. It's not gonna be new, but it's gonna help a lot with the plant, because that is the only income the city has, is the water and sewer. That's it, that's all that, so a city has to run off of what they get there. So, and you got your millage, obviously, from property tax, but that's nothing as compared to what it takes to keep that plant going down there.
Is it gonna add to the water and sewer bill?
No.
No,
It's not adding to it?
it's not gonna cost y'all, we're not raising your rates
Yeah.
because this is going in. I mean, this is all being done with a grant.
Okay.
The water and sewer bill does go up every January though, just so that you don't go, oh, they just started and the water bill went up. I just wanna clarify that.
Yeah, two separate things, I get
That's
it.
kind of how it's.
We have an ordinance.
We can take a little bit of that revenue and just put it back into the bill and make the bill lower.
Well, right of it is the garbage too. 'cause they
Yeah,
go
the
up.
garbage.
The garbage goes up over 10% every year.
Well, see, that's where you need to get on with me then, because I can outbid Waste Management anytime you want me to.
Well, we actually.
We put it out for bid. We did put it out for bid last year and they got the bid again.
For 3 to 5, or
I think it's 5.
we just took over Jackson County and everything. They've had it for 50 years, we took it over from them. So,
So I worked with your guy, but
which one, Lloyd?
Lloyd. Yeah. But they're going up 10% a year, and then we're not going up even 10, you know what I'm saying? We're not even going up 10%, but they're going up 10%, and that kills us.
Well, next time you come around, I'll give you my card, we'll do some talking, because Lloyd actually works for me.
Oh, got it, okay. Nice to know.
Are they small tractor trailers that are coming in, or are they straight
No,
trucks?
that's 6 axles, straight trucks.
It's like it's the truck that you see with the hoses on it and the big round silver back on it usually.
Okay, I'm up there.
Class B.
Is dual axles or single axles?
They can be double. If you get 4,000, it's probably double.
Does anybody else have any questions or concerns or anything they want to say? Is this, Candace, is this supposed to be voted on, cause it's just itemized on here as a meeting?
What does the
That's what I'm
council
saying.
need to do tonight?
Oh,
You need to approve it or disapprove it this evening.
okay. I have a motion to approve, the septic station.
I make a motion to approve the subdivision.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor? Aye. Motion carried. All right, we have one other item. I thank everybody for coming. If y'all want to stay, that's great. We got one more item to discuss, and I think that we will be through.
Y'all come back again.
Every
Yeah, I get keys.
That's when they really get like.
Got a long way to drive. Oh, God. Girl, you'll get They go a long way. I just did and see what they do.
We have dinner at a
You got it. We still the same number.
Would you shut that door when you go out there? Thank you.
We've got,
You may have to.
I'll be glad to do it.
She called herself holding it. James did.
okay. We are back to number 4. Chad, the employee complaints. Do you want to talk about, tell us what happened last week?
I think it's kind of us trying to get to know each other and work a little bit. I might have come across a little brash. I feel like maybe you're strong sometimes, and I don't want to be that way. And if I do seem that way, I want to try to go to somebody and apologize to them. And I guess I felt that I maybe had gotten a little, we were talking about some lights in the hallway, and I guess they didn't, I didn't even, I sounded harder sure in my head than I really did out loud. Because when I went over there to them to apologize, they kind of didn't know what I was talking about. And I was like then I got embarrassed and I was trying to explain like what I was talking about, and I didn't really know how to, you know what I mean? And I was like, well, I kind of felt like, and I wanted to say like we had a misunderstanding, and I didn't want that to be like that, like, you know what I mean? I really don't. I don't want to be that way. I want to be open in that way. I don't want to come in and try to just tell everybody what to do. You know, I want to come in and try to let people, but if I've done something 100 times here and it's hit me in the face every single time, and I can try to prevent somebody else from having the same thing happen to them, I'm going to try to do that. And I know, sometimes people get, I've worked on these lights in here. I've spent hours on these lights in here. We need to replace them with LEDs. And I've come to the determination and we need to take the ones we put at the shop down there, just strip lights. Not a bulb, not a strip light, gut them, put them up there, wire them in. That's what we need to do to save the city money. That's what we need to do. I've already come to the determination, already in the past, and I was trying to explain that. And I got a little, but that's what happened. And
I have a copy. Do you want me to give you a copy?
If you don't mind, even if you need to take a few minutes, if you'll read these and see if they're accurate, because those are the complaints, and I'd like to know if you approached them 2 different times trying to explain yourself.
one time, it was just one time.
So there wasn't, it's in on Dawkins Street and then one on Armstrong,
No,
in front of the bus barn?
Just one time, we stopped one time. So no, I did not have two separate incidents.
I'm the only way they take, you could put out McFadden and set out by just coming straight on Dawkins down to off of 79. So it would only be, it would only have one road instead of South or McFadden.
That's just kinda got crazy there. That's not accurate. I'm a little, hold on, let me start over, I'm gonna read all of it, I'll tell you exactly.
The drivers from the company.
Won't be here after then. We probably don't have one meeting in December anyway, don't we?
We'll have to check with Candace.
I don't know, I'm not reading, I don't know. Here, y'all say what you want.
I'm sorry, I
I
couldn't hear you.
I'm good, y'all. I told y'all my version, that's their version, was right there.
Michelle, are you here?
Yes.
Okay. I think they just wanna make sure you were here. Did you need to ask her something? Okay. Okay, you're good.
We good?
No, well, we're telling her you're good. I guess they're gonna ask you questions,
Do you-
Jack.
Chad, do you have any response to those two complaints?
No, ma'am.
Did it happen, didn't it happen?
I told y'all what happened. That's what happened. Anything outside of that, as somebody told me one time, all includes everything and excludes nothing. I told you my version of what happened, and if it wasn't in that version, then it's outside of that version. So that's what it is.
Okay,
I told you myself.
One more question, if you don't mind. Where did you approach them at the one and only time you said you did?
Right in front of Roland Brewer's house.
On Armstrong Street?
Yes, ma'am.
And you were?
I was in my truck the whole time. I never got in the truck. Matter of fact, we spoke through the window at each other. Rusty was right there. On the other side was Tyler, right there. So I never got in my truck. Never approached him again. Matter of fact, because of that, I was nervous about the whole situation. I didn't want to approach him again. I didn't want to mishandle anything or anything. You know what I mean? So that's where I'm at with that too. I didn't approach him another time.
Okay, so it's not like it says on there that it was first time at Dawkins and then?
There was no first time on Dawkins, no. It was right there what I said, and that's what it's for.
Does council have any questions for Chad? Chad, do you have anything else that you want to say? What's the will, council?
the stories. Yeah. He gave his side of the story, they gave their side of the stories.
They can't work together, can't they work together?
I have no problem working with them. I ain't got to work
Because in
with
the
them.
end, y'all are working for the city.
We are, and we want to work together.
Well, that's, everybody has
There's
to
men on
work
the job
together.
side as well, it is a city, but it's also men that are grown men that are learning to work together. Anybody that knows working around knows that there's gonna be, excuse me, I had some cursing in here earlier, pissing contests and stuff like that men do have, and things like that. And I'm not trying to say that's what this was or anything like that outside of that. I'm just saying there are these types of things that happen when men get together and work together and try to feel things out, especially whenever they may be smoky or feel like they maybe need that job that I got. Just keep it real, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
So just-
let's do, that's
Yeah,
why I
so-
wanted to ask you again. You said to begin with that you stopped them one time and was trying to, what'd you say, work?
I wanted to make
things
sure
out?
that if I had seemed harsh in the hallway, that it wasn't mistaken as trying to be rude. And I
And you-
said nothing.
You in no way said anything or didn't stop them before, nothing else, and you were just trying to square things away, you didn't call anybody
Matter
out?
of fact, before that, I was speaking with another citizen who our customer, how we say, person who lives in Vernon. Right there, they were talking to me and stopped me at the corner up there, as a matter of fact, so, no, there was no other incident besides that, and then that whenever I went to do each other, that I can recall, so. Yeah.
Well, I honestly don't know, the statements, and it's obviously not jiving, and I don't know, maybe they misinterpreted both of them, something that you were trying to say or do, or I don't know.
It sounds like a misunderstanding to me, that everybody's got a different version of it, kind of like everybody maybe misconstrued the whole thing. That's what it sounds like to me, but I'm gonna let you, I'm sorry to interrupt.
Well, I don't know what y'all want to do. I know that as it is right now, 2 employees didn't want to come to this meeting tonight because,
That's 3 employees that didn't want to come to this meeting.
okay, with that.
That's
You
3
didn't want to
employees
come
that didn't
because,
want to come to this meeting.
was it
tonight.
because you thought that you were gonna
No,
get into some
because-
sort of conversation with them?
Finish what y'all wanna do, please, we can make this easy. Yes or no, go back to work tomorrow, or don't. Is that all right? 'Cause, I mean, we're sitting here going around in circles. We are.
Well, I'm also concerned, Chad, because there's 3 employees, and I don't know how you feel, but there was 3 employees that day that were concerned over some hostility, so can you, I mean, I'm just trying to sort it out. What's the will of council? Do y'all have, do we want to keep the special meeting, or do we want to take some sort of action tonight?
Will Mr. Gary be here?
I don't know.
He's in the hospital.
Which is all different stories.
You kind of have to work together. I mean,
If council doesn't want to take any action tonight, then I suggest that we keep the special meeting. Leave things as they are on the administrative leave until we can, if y'all want to talk to the other employees, or I don't know if y'all have talked to them or not. We've got the statements. Y'all want to wait and see if Mr. Gary will be able to be here at that Wednesday night meeting. Just, y'all need to let me know what y'all want to do.
Yeah, we can do that. Probably do that.
Can you be here Wednesday night? Can you be here Wednesday night, Jeff? Okay. Well, then let's just leave things as they are. And Candace, when you make contact with Mr. Gary in the next couple of days, I'm sure they'll let you know when he's on and see what we can do. And until then, we'll just leave things as they are. All agree? All right.
Make a motion, we adjourn.
Second? All in favor? Aye. Any adjourned?
Y'all gonna let